Hello everyone. In this video, we'll see how to create Azure SQL Managed Instance. For that, first type in the search bar for Azure SQL Managed Instance. Click on that. Here, click on Create and select the subscription. After that, we have resource group. Already, if you have an existing resource group, you can select that, or else you can create a new one. Yeah, once resource group is created, then here you have to give a name for the managed instance. And coming to region, like in our case, for this subscription, we don't have East US quota available. So we are going with Central US. See, suppose if we want to go with East US itself, we can raise a Microsoft ticket and get it done. So in our case, now we are going with Central US. Then coming to the compute plus storage, here for the general purpose, that is the default configuration. Suppose if we want to, change the configuration of the managed instance, you can just click on configure managed instance. And here you can, initially we'll have the service tier. So that is general purpose and business purpose. So we are going with general purpose. And then next gen general purpose, it is by default, disabled. If we enable that, we'll get additionally IOPS. So that is the advantage. So that IOPS can be increased. So if you want, you can increase that. IOPS is nothing but output operations per second. So remaining or same. By default, it will be disabled. And then computer hardware vCores you can increase accordingly. So in our case, we are going with 4 vCores. And memory, storage, all according to the requirement, you can increase or decrease, or you can go with defaults. So next you can click on apply. Yeah, backup, we can go with LRS, like locally redundant backup storage. Click on apply. And now we'll come to the home screen. Here, authentication methods, we can have like 2 types, Microsoft Entra and based on the SQL authentication. So if we go with the Microsoft Entra authentication, so below you can see there is Microsoft Entra admin default cloudops.pr@gmail.com. So this is available. So you can authenticate with this mail. Suppose if we are going with the SQL authentication. So here you have to provide the credentials like admin login, password, and then confirm password. Here password has some restriction for 16 characters. You have to follow that, condition and then give the password. After that, just click on next. Yeah, here coming to networking, default will have a VNET and subnet. so that you can use, or else if we have something specifically to use, that also we can select using the drop down list. And then coming to the connection type. So here in like connection type, public endpoint, minimum TLS version, we are going with defaults. Click on next. And then here coming to security. So enable Microsoft Defender for SQL, that we are not going to use now. So just use the default one, not now. And the remaining identity, service principal, everything will go with defaults. Then click on next. And here for the additional settings also, we need not change anything. Just click on next. So next comes the tags. It is always best practice to give proper tag name and value, so that when many resources gets created, you can identify the individual resources using the appropriate tag name. Yeah, here after giving the tag, if you see the estimated cost per month, so this is coming around $825. So this can be made free by using an existing offer. Just click on the basics tab. Yeah, here we have create an Azure SQL Managed Instance with 720 week core hours, 24 GB of data and 24 GB of backup storage, free per month and for 12 months. So we can just click on apply offer. See, automatically it became free. And once we apply that, we have to change the name, which is the default name is this. According to us, we can change the name of the managed instance and the region also. We are going with Central US. Then you can click on next. Yeah, you can click on review plus create because the other things already done. So click on review plus create and click on create. Check all the details once and then click on create. Actually, it takes nearly 40 to 45 minutes time. So once that gets created, we can go to DBeaver and then we can, validate whether Azure SQL Managed Instance got created or not. Yeah, here we see that the deployment is complete. That means the resource has got created successfully. So just click on go to resource. So here we are able to see SQL Cloud Ops. The database server has got created. Under security, we have left side under security, we have networking section. Under the networking section, the public endpoint that has to be in enabled state. And here you have to copy the endpoint. Why we should copy this endpoint is in order to connect to this server from any database connectivity tool. For that, we are using DBeaver here. We need these credentials. So copy the host and open DBeaver. Yeah. So here, once the DBeaver is open, just in the general, we'll have connections. Click there. And under connections, we have create connection. So click there. And then you have to pick the SQL server here. Once you open that SQL server connection settings, here you have to give the host, the public endpoint which you have copied. So that you have to give here. And from that, you have to take out the port, copy that and paste here. And then under authentication, you have to provide the username and password. So this username, you have to get it from the database server overview. So from managed instance admin, you can copy that and paste it, give the password, and then click on finish. Yeah, here you can see it's getting loaded. So by default, we'll get the master database. But in order to create the required database, we have to come to the portal and click on create new database. So click there on the new database. Give the proper database name. Then click on next. And here we can keep as it is, the none. And then next. Next. Here you can assign a tag name and value. And then click on next. Verify all the details which you have provided and then click on create. Yeah, the deployment is in progress. Yes, the deployment is complete. Next, you can go to the resource. And in order to see this database, you can go to DBeaver. Just refresh and check. Yeah, here you can see the databases. So here master is the default database and DB test is the database which we have created. So now we have the required database in the database server. Thank you.